Hello, it's Star. So today I have a tutorial on how I draw bodies, which has been asked for a lot.
Finally, you're doing it.
I'm finally doing it. And I'm gonna be doing not just girls but boys too. So yeah. I don't know what, but I feel awkward right now. So, like I said, my chair is very sweet. Didn't say that earlier, but like I said, I'm gonna show you how I draw boys and girls. So first I'm just gonna do the girls. There's a lot of eraser shavings on my piece of paper, but yeah. First off, I don't know why, but this has been asked for a ton. Like, so many people have asked me, can you do a tutorial on how you draw bodies and other stuff? But bodies is probably the one that's asked for most right now. Which I don't know why. I don't understand it. Because you can find, the way I do anatomy isn't special, and you can find very good tutorials on YouTube of how to draw anatomy, like by professionals. But you wanted mine. I don't know why. Yeah, I'm done talking about this. So, what you're gonna do first is very shocking. You do a circle, and it doesn't matter if it's like a perfect circle or not. And then you're gonna go down a bit. Also, I'm sorry if I do not do the best explaining. I don't really know what I'm doing, explanation-wise. And then you just connect them. Heads, I struggle with, even though I've done them like drawn a head nearly every day for the past 3 years. But yeah, I still struggle with those, so I am not much help with that. Hopefully they're simple for you, but they would probably never be easy for me. But yeah, and then the next thing is you just wind down. Also, I'm gonna teach you like straight front-facing body, not a bunch of angles. You can like take these shapes that I'm teaching you and then like change them to different angles if you would like. So yeah. And then for the neck, it's just kind of like a curved line. Let's make sure it's not tiny, but make sure it's not huge, okay? Because I see like bigger, because I see like a lot of just beginner artists doing either huge necks or tiny necks. Just look at a picture and try to copy it. And then after that, you just do like a kind of curved line right under the neck. And then at the end of those lines, you add circles, which these will be the shoulders. And they should go out a little bit out on the sides of the head. Not a ton, but some. And then you connect from the neck down, like a curve down. But then as you get closer to that circle, which will be the shoulders, you go up. I'm also not the cleanest sketcher, so I'm very sorry if it is difficult to see. But yeah. So then after that, you make kind of like a square. It's not like the most square thing in the world. But like go in a little bit near the bottom, because that's going to be the waist, and waists aren't pure square. So, and then at this point is when you draw boobs, which I'm not gonna teach you, I'm just gonna do them. So yeah, you teach yourself that. I don't want to talk about that. And then near the bottom of like the square, you should be going, there should be a small section that starts to go out. And then for this part is the hips. So like the main like torso is done. Now it's on to like the legs. And then you do, I have no idea how to describe this shape. Just kind of think underwear, and then you should be good. So you kind of just go in near the bottom, and then you should have like a small piece in between both sides, like small curve, straight line. And then after that, you kind of just, you always do this part, but you can like do these lines, which is kind of like the bone. And then some people do pure circle. I personally don't like doing pure circle for kneecaps. I do this weird thing that I don't know how to explain because I'm difficult. And then you can do another like line after that. And after that, you just kind of follow those lines. And then once you get, like, the closer you get to the kneecaps, the closer you, like, the more curved in it should get. On, like, the outside facing of the thigh. Does that make sense? And also, when I, like, am slowing down my process, it starts to look a little bit funky. I don't know why it does that. But unless I'm like, it doesn't really look completely normal for me, which I don't know why, but yeah, for this one, it's kind of just like a straight line, and then you connect it with a curved thingy around the kneecap, and then you do the same thing on the other side. Unless the character that you're drawing has one leg. And there. Now, this is, I think, like the part of the leg that's called thigh. Not thigh. These thighs are very long. I erase a lot too, so, yeah. I'm gonna re-add the kneecaps. There's one circle, one thingy. Very nice. And then you kind of just do the same thing as you did with the thigh, in a way. Like, you go out. Like, instead of, like, since you start up there, you would go out and then in. You go in, then out, and then in. And then there's not enough space for the feet. I don't usually draw feet anyways, and they look pretty bad. So I'm not gonna teach her how to do that. And then now, onto like the arms. I'm gonna clean up, like, I always do this where I erase part of like the torso and then redo it. So yeah, there it is. And then for the shoulders, I do this thing. I don't know what this shape would be called. I don't know what most of these shapes would be. But it's like this curve, it's kind of like a bean. It's a bean. And then you kind of just do the same thing that you did with the legs, your knees. And then kind of just do a line and then connect them. But instead of a kneecap, it's an elbow. And then do another line. I'm not going to teach you how to draw hands because that's not really part of anatomy. I'm starting to do my own thing. Don't do that. And then for this, you just kind of, not like a super straight line, because that's just unnatural, but just like a mostly straight line for like whatever this part of the arm is called. I don't know if you can even see that. Hopefully you could. And I feel like I'm doing a terrible job explaining. This is why you should find another tutorial. And then after this, out instead of like a straight line. And then I'm not going to do the hands because why would I want to do that for no reason? That would just be pain. So I'm just going to do those boxy things. I feel like the arms are too long. And then there's how I draw human girl. Yeah. Okay, so the way I draw guys is kind of just, like, in a way, it's kind of just like how I draw girls, but like less curvy. I don't know if that makes sense, but have I made sense this entire video? I don't think so. So you just kind of start out the same way. Just start with the head. It doesn't look very good at all, but it's a head. You get the idea. And then you do the same thing with the neck. Some artists will do like thicker neck because it's a guy, and then they'll add like Adam's apples and that stuff. I don't add that stuff. So I just draw it the completely the same way I draw it as a girl. And then you do the same thing with the shoulders, but yeah, just the same thing. And then after this is when it starts to get more different than the girl. So this is the torso. You do the same thing, but for the torso as the girl, but it's like you don't add boobs, of course. And for like the girl, it goes in kind of like more like a pure curve kind of, but for draw guys it's kind of like a sharper like in out, which real guys don't have that. Like, but you know, we're drawing anime here, so it doesn't really matter. And that sounded weird. And then I section that off again. That's like another part of the waist, and the torso is done. Now, for this, you draw like, this is like the hips, and again, with like this weird boxy shape that looks like underwear. It doesn't go out as much as like the girl. It keep it more in, because guys are like bricks. They're like, although this is more like, I don't know, I'm going insane. And then after that, I just draw legs the same way as I do the girl. So, and again with this weird thing, I was like, I don't usually do circles, but for some reason, my hand wants to do circles for kneecaps. And then you kind of just do the same thing for the legs as you did with the girl. There's nothing really different with how I do things. I feel like that look looks tiny. There. And then I feel like these shoulders are too far out, so I'm gonna fix that real quick. Sorry. And then, yep, same thing. The weird bean thing again. And then arms are the same way. So really the only thing different was like the torso kind of area, which I know to some artists it's like, boys have more like bulk and stuff, and you shouldn't draw them the same way as you draw girls, and blah blah blah. But really, I don't care. This is how I like to draw them. If they look kind of girly, they look kind of girly. I don't want to be drawing buff bodybuilders or webtoon boys. No. So yeah, this is how I do anatomy. I feel like I did a horrible job explaining, but if you didn't really understand, I will probably find some other tutorials that I find that I like and that are kind of similar to my style, and then I'll link them in the description. So if this was not helpful, you can watch those and hopefully they'll be more help to you. So yeah. Thank you for watching this horrible mess. Yeah. Bye.